Hello, Year 11s. So I've done a video on how to get a level 2 6 out of 9 answer for the 9-mark question. I've made a video on my top tips for getting full marks in the pre-release, and I've made a video on potential 9-mark exam questions. Well, this video is about how to get 9 out of 9 in your 9-mark question for the pre-release section. The reason it is so important is because it's 9 plus 3 SPAG, so it's a 12-mark question. It's the biggest question in that paper, and it's on content you've already seen. So getting full marks is kind of nearly a no-brainer. You have to, because you don't have a better chance to get full marks. So in order to do that, it's really important you understand that there are 5 main stakeholders, and you have to talk about what we call winners and losers. So in the case of our current pre-release for 2025, the Northern Tidal Power Gateways, NTPG is the first stakeholder. They're the ones who've tabled the proposal for the tidal barrage. They're the ones who say they can build it for £10 billion. Then there's the environmental groups, the RSPB, the Cumbria Wildlife Trust, who are worried about the potential unknown impacts of building this barrage on the sites of particular scientific interest and areas of outstanding natural beauties in the area. You also have the government, the local government of Cumbria and Lancashire. You've also got the national government that looks after our energy security down in Westminster. You've got local residents who might vary in opinion depending on their age and their demographics. And you've also got local business owners who ultimately want to make money. So in this case, I'm going to discuss another question, just to give you a variety of questions. And this one here says the following. To what extent is the Tidal Gateway project an example of sustainable development? Pretty much word for word the question that came up in 2024, except it was about Tudley Village rather than Tidal Gateway. But two ways of writing the question down as an answer. You can either do a simple option, which is what's in front of you now, a paragraph saying yes, a paragraph saying no, debate different types of sustainability, so social, economic, environmental, and same for no. Or the balanced one, which is a mix of paragraph 1 and 2 here, and I'll show you later on in this video how to write that. But if you did go along the simple route, paragraph 1, you'd say yes, the development will be sustainable because it will improve the UK's energy security. For that, you'd need to use data on the use of UK's energy mix and the amount of imports we do, and explain how the development of the tidal project will bring long-term social benefit at a national level, social and political, you could argue. You say, well, furthermore, as a counterpoint, this development will also bring economic and environmental sustainability. And there you can look at long-term economic and environmental benefits to different stakeholders, okay, the stakeholders I mentioned previously. That being able to talk about different stakeholders, being able to talk about different types of sustainability, and being able to talk about different levels of scale, so national level or local level, that is what makes you go from a grade level 2 grade 6 to a grade level 3 grade 7 8 9. Okay, and paragraph 2 you'd say no, short term, again here talk about time scale, short term environmental impacts of this development outweigh the long term benefits. They're clearly, again, short term versus long term, clearly level 3 answer. Use data from the RSPB and Wildlife Trust. Explain the environmental impact and different local stakeholders. Furthermore, development also socially and economically unsustainable. And then here you talk about the why, and you give me the different stakeholders. So how does this actually look in practice? In practice, this is an example of the first paragraph. You'd start by saying your point. I believe that the Tidal Gateway project will be sustainable as it will help to improve the UK's energy security. That's your point, okay? Your evidence is that according to figure 1, you don't have to use figure 3, you can use throughout the figures. A decline in North Sea oil and gas production means that the UK now imports about 30% of our energy. Right. Realistically, the examiner at that point goes, and what does that mean? Well, this is where you come in. This is where you get most of your marks, the analysis of that point and evidence. Well, simply put, investing in tidal power will therefore help the UK to diversify its energy mix and reduce its imports from foreign countries. Indeed, tidal patterns and ocean currents are more predictable and more powerful than wind, which means that building the tidal barrage in Cumbria would generate more energy than wind or solar power, as the former, aka the tidal barrage, is not dependent on weather conditions. This would ultimately enable the UK to meet its own energy demand. So from a national point of view here, national scale, we're becoming more sustainable. You could then say, furthermore, this development will also bring economic and environmental benefits, such as business and recreational opportunities. More specifically, the tidal barrage scheme will generate it's supposed to be clean energy for 2 million homes and provide 13,000 new jobs for the local community. So we've talked about a national level here of security, and now we're looking at the local level. Okay, and then you explain that by saying, as a result, this will help to regenerate Barrow in fairness and improve the quality of life by providing better paid jobs, which in turn will generate higher tax revenues and spending power for the local authority, thus kickstarting the so-called multiplier effect at a national level. So again, you're showing the ability to go from one scale to the other. This will also help to level up the northwest of England and reduce the north-south divide, whilst saving £10 million a year by protecting the environment. So again, at the very beginning, we said we talk about social and environmental benefits. Okay, brilliant. Paragraph number 1. Paragraph 2, you'd say, well, however, they say in the negatives, it could be argued that the tidal gateway project should not go ahead, as the short-term environmental impacts outweigh the long-term benefits. Again, here you're talking time frame. Okay, your evidence is that according to the Cumbria Wildlife Trust, Morecambe Bay, and I've inverted commas here, evidence doesn't have to be numerical data, can be a quote, and the quote here says, Morecambe Bay is an international, again, think about scale here, important site for wintering with wildfowl and waders. Birds arrive from all over the northern hemisphere to spend the winter here. That's your quote. That's your evidence. What does that mean? Okay, as a Frenchman, I barely pronounce the name of these birds, but it means that this means that this proposal will destroy an area of high biodiversity and threaten sites of special scientific interests and or areas of outstanding natural beauty. As a result, this could destroy the thriving tourism industry of the Lake District and prevent the regeneration of Barrow in Furness, a town that already struggles with high levels of poverty and ill health. So you explain why preserving those ecosystems are vital, because if you get rid of what tourists come to see, the tourists stop coming. Simple as that. Okay. Then you say, furthermore, the development would have negative socio-economic impacts on the Cumbria. So you slightly bigger scale here, you're looking at the whole region. The development will take 25 years to build, and during that time, the existing infrastructure will come under more pressure. Okay, you explain that by saying estimated 10 billion cost could be better used on existing road and railway networks. This could quickly improve and benefit the local community. Again, thinking of local scale here. Many locals are also concerned about the road crossing that will be built between Heysham and the Furness Peninsula. Whilst national scale, this will reduce journey time by 75% and reduce traffic on the M6. At a local level, this increase in tourism could make the situation worse in Barrow and Furness due to overcrowding, which is a problem they seem to already have in the first place. Okay, so if you want to be and look even sharper, you could do the balance option, which is in essence the same arguments I've just given you, but you cross them over. So you start with, yes, it'd be sustainable, social from a social and economic point of view, and then no, it's not, and then you focus on the environment on the other side. Okay, so you can pause the video there and see in breakdown. I won't read the whole thing again, but same idea. 4.4 evidence, 4 analysis, and then you say, however, negative counterpoint and a negative explanation with a negative counterpoint. And then here you say, however, negative point, negative evidence, negative reasons why that is bad. And then you say, however, the development could bring some positives and explain to me what those positives are. And there you have it. That's ultimately how to write your perfect 9-mark answer for that section of the paper 3. I hope that helps. Good, best of luck. You're going to smash it.